Hi everyone, welcome to Uptown Port Louis. Start the montage. We're finally doing the big buildings. The big buildings. Look at the size of some of them, but there's so much history here. Let's go see. This is our first stop. This is Saint Louis Cathedral. The one behind me. We'll get a closer look in a minute. But this fountain was actually put here by Suyak. Viscount Suyak. You know the guy from down south?
17 what?
17 what? Thanks, Rick. But this was actually drinking water fountain that people used to drink from it. And if rumour is to be had, apparently there's slaves buried around here. Not quite sure where, but what a great fountain. And it kept the residents in this area quenched. Let's go have a look at the cathedral a bit more. This is actually a really cool statue of a knight. I think it's a knight. It didn't actually say on the plaque whether that was a knight or not. But it does look pretty good. And the grounds here are very beautiful. They are starting to fix them up again. But look at this fountain. It was donated by Theo Wong. But now onto the cathedral.
Yeah, this is one of the oldest churches in Mauritius.
1757.
It's quite complicated because at some point it gets rebuilt in 1816 or something. But it does originally exist here for a very long time.
Wow. It is a huge cathedral.
It really is.
I'm going to go try and make my way. Oh, you guys are slipping out of your little camera case. Give me a second. You guys are falling. Are you still okay? Okay, hopefully I cut all that out. I'm going to go a little bit closer. So come with me. Ricky will get a perspective of just how big this is. Look at the size of the door. It is huge. And that's Ricky over there with a modern skyscraper behind her. But this thing dominates the skyline a little bit. It does dominate the skyline a little bit. Oh wow, how beautifully cut is this? This is actually the ground stonework. So it's actually on the ground. And they cut the rocks beautifully like this. And it's just surrounded by huge buildings. I've just gone across the street so you can see how huge it is. It extends back there. But it is a really big building. Wow, have a look at this building. It's just hiding here. But it has the giant verandas. So I'm not sure, you know, in the Creole style. And there's a red brick house behind it. Red brick house.
British were here.
It does look really good. It really is a beautiful building.
Beautiful building.
I'll see if I can get in there. But
Not sure what it is though. There's no sign.
let's go have a closer look at the balcony. You got a nice entranceway. And then people are waiting there. I don't want to show the people just in case it's like a something building. Ah, red brick. But you can tell it is an old building because of the stonework on the side. And then they put the red brick in afterwards. And how awesome is that hatch? Someone sanded these doors. Someone's actually sanded these doors and made them look new again.
Quite amazing.
Wow, and it's just hiding out here. And guess where we are? I'm going to swing you around slowly. So, house with the new doors, red brick house. That other house, which I'll show you in a minute, Ricky, presenting the Cathedral of Saint Louis. That's all in this little area. Wow.
It's like there used to be an old shop here and now it's just been built on top of. But great, someone is looking after it though.
Walking along this awesome veranda with the great tiles for the montage. How cool is this building? And this is the actual correct way to come in, not the way I came in. It really is a beautiful building. Perfect veranda, the perfect living area upstairs with the dormer windows. I think they're called dormer windows to let the heat out. It is just a fantastic piece of building. Wow, and it's not even marked on a map. Don't even know what it is.
Well, I haven't actually checked.
But if you come here to see this building, just across the road is a fine example of a house. Yes, we'll call it a house.
Big old school storm gutters in Port Louis to take away water. In some places.
There are places in Port Louis where you got these great sidewalks. And you get a bench on the side as well. So come, go get some KFC, come sit on the bench and admire an old stone building. Oh, in case you don't believe me in all this history, that is actually a KFC. In that huge skyscraper next to all the other huge skyscrapers. This is the Supreme Court of Mauritius, but if you have a look through here, Rick, you'll probably get some footage of it. But they got this beautiful sculpture. Wow.
Statue at the Supreme Court of Mauritius. What's that beautiful building?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a really impressive gate.
Okay, this might actually be the commercial court that is just beside. Okay, I was going to just walk across a traffic light, but I'll wait for the traffic to go. Even though the traffic light is still green for me. Wow, and look at this gate, it is awesome. Hopefully you're not wobbling around too much up there. So that's probably the commercial court. This is actually round back behind the building. So you can actually get a better view of it here with its huge palm tree. It is old brick and they have paint in it. Painted it. They have painted it. Oh wow. Look at this chunk of stone. That is a single chunk. The same here. It is a single chunk of stone cut out and then built onto this building. Wow.
Another cool building.
I know, they're just everywhere. Well, not everything is old, but this looks pretty old. Pope Hennessy Police Station. Very nice looking commercial centre here.
Yeah.
This is actually the town hall. They got a cool clock thing. But look at the big building. And it actually looks surprisingly happy. I don't know, you know how sometimes you look at a building and think, that's a happy building? That's a happy building. It just feels happy. Yeah. Okay, they do have a plaque here. Would you believe this used to be a hotel? Hotel de Ville, Hotel de Europe. No, I know, because someone actually told me that a hotel can actually mean a government building of some sort. So,
Probably, or a snack. I don't think it's a snack.
or a snack. I'll go see if they have some snacks. If not, then it's a government building. Or if they have a room, we can come stay. How awesome! A hotel! This used to be the site of the market. So there used to be a market here and then it burnt down in 1816. So they built the theatre. This is the actual theatre. From then, I'll check the actual date when we get there. It was the only theatre until they built the one all the way out there in Rose Hill. So you got the cobblestone street leading up to the theatre. Wow, how awesome is that? How worn is that?
That is very worn.
Now, how many years does it take to wear something this bad?
A lot.
It was actually Robert Farquhar who laid the stone here in 1816 to build this. He decided that the people of Port Louis needed a little something more to elevate their position. And this is what he gave them. What a great building. Now, if we can get across the road, we're going to go join Ricky going down the other way, down the cobblestones.
So down the street is like a cultural walk, and you see quite a few of these signs. They're all in French, but you sort of get the gist of it. Maybe there'll be quotes from Malcolm along the way, or maybe that's just Malcolm's lamppost and there'll be other lampposts to other people. We shall...
On top.
I know, it's an incredible building.
And the lampposts.
Yeah, the lampposts.
Wow.
And the like cobblestone street. Super cool.
Not so well worn.
No, not so well worn. Try, yeah, give it a bit of wearing.
Getting it done.
2020. No, I think it might be a Malcolm de Chazelle walkway, and each lamppost has one of his, I forget what they were called. Pretty incredible.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
It's like a mini Paul version-y. Nice place.
In here, under normal circumstances, there's a camera museum. But it's down this way that I really wanted to go. There's some really, really old buildings, but it looks like they're in such bad condition, you're not even allowed to walk on the road. We'll see how close we can get. Oh, and this one on the opposite side of me here. Old wooden building, also falling apart, unfortunately. It seems like the de Chazelle house, the stone one, is surviving. These are the ones I really wanted to see. These really, really old wooden buildings. Maybe someone's fixing them. That's why it's blocked off. Just in case we don't get another chance around the corner. There it is there. And that's the other one. Oh. This is the stone one on this side. And then coming down to the old wooden one on top there.
Really fascinating little part of Port Louis, and it's right near like the municipality buildings and all of that. It actually says Chazelle on the side of that. Maybe there was a restaurant or something here. That's cool. Can't remember what I was saying, but anyway, not important.
Found himself a nice stone and is just chilling a little. Walking away from the museum sign on a cobbled road for the montage. Standing in the sun that's finally come out for the montage.
Yeah. The sun is bright.
This is the Port Louis fire station.
Yes.
Have a look at it. Wow. So this was the original fire station in there.
Yeah.
So it's going under.
It's under reparation now.
It's under
Reparation.
reparation. Oh, so they're fixing it at the moment, so we can't actually get in. But wow, and they actually came here from what, 1816? They've had a fire station here.
1906.
This one was actually built in 1906, but since 1816 they've been here because wooden houses. The place would always burn down. Port Louis always had problems with their wooden houses and they would burn down. I'll show you a couple of them now. These are the ones from the other side that we couldn't actually get to. But wow. Wow, 1806 for this one. It's being repaired, but 1816 is when they started here, in this spot.
There is a board over there. You can see.
There's a board. Okay. Wow. Man, what beautiful fire trucks though, huh? Modern with the old. Awesome. And you can see just down here, these ones being repaired. Unfortunately, walking to the sun. But wow. So these are the chief fire officers.
Chief fire officer since 19 1851.
1851. And they go all across here.
Only free in the
This
world.
is the clock that's made by Merryweather.
Wow! How did we get this lucky?
That is amazing. Merryweather makes this. And there's only 3 left in the world, and one is here in Port Louis. Look at it. I don't even know what it does, but it looks incredible.
It is so beautiful. It's like steampunk meets electronic world. Wow. The Merryweather clock.
Merryweather is famous for making fire extinguishers
Okay, and so they made this clock.
and clocks.
And the bells. Oh, so this is...
The clock is old, eh?
So these would be...
Brought it over here.
These would be sections. Someone would trip it somewhere else and it would ring, and you would know which area there was a fire alarm going off in.
That is like one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That is the coolest thing I've seen. Wow.
It was like, whoosh, 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 but
Okay, just to prove that I'm actually here, I'm just going to get it so that I'm actually in. Yes, he can actually do it for me. The Merryweather clock, everyone. Can you believe it? I'm going to push all the buttons and see what happens. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to actually do that. Wow.
now you've got the chief of the fire police doing your
Yeah.
B-roll.
I'm
Because you
gonna figure
forget
out
that
for the
I've
chief
got
of
it.
police. We should have it the other way around, but no, me looking at the clock.
Can I put you on video?
That is so cool.
Are you okay to be on video?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you so much. This is the actual original floor here. The original wooden floor that firemen would come running along for the last 100 years. 110, 115 years. Oh man, walking away from the fire station after seeing the Merryweather clock for the montage. I'm so chilled, guys. It is just like, it's like a rush, you know. Coming off a adrenaline high from seeing something so awesome.
That is the coolest thing I've seen.
I know, it is. It is like, and it's sad that we're about to go across the road to the prison. Oh man, this is the prison. We're actually behind the prison. I'll show you. Look at that. Ricky and her red chatting to people. Right here. Looking at this side of the building. Wow. To give you a little bit of perspective on me, this is me here. Look at that. Look at that building. Oh, wow. I can't help myself. Look at it. This is the old prison. And this is the other side of it. This is where it would have been. Now, we're not 100% sure. I'm not actually 100% sure. But somewhere here is where they used to execute the prisoners. Somewhere here. I'm just going to go around that corner a little bit. It is a beautiful building. I know it's a prison. Technically but it is a beautiful, real security here. Real security here. Wow.
The prison had 300 cells.
So this is the prison. All right, now I'm not 100% sure. I'll check over the wall in a second here. Yes, something down there. We'll get it from another angle. But this is the prison here. And somewhere where Ricky is, somewhere over there is where they used to execute the prisoners. And this in particular is a very important place for Rastafarians because you can almost feel it. The spirits are here. I'm not a Rastafarian, but I feel what they feel. It's like when you actually look at that building, that was a prison for probably well-behaved, good prisoners. This was a prison for people who were going to be executed or spending the rest of their lives here. Wow. And the stairway up. And then somewhere here, not 100% sure where, could have actually been somewhere like that. They executed them. And the spirits of the slaves that were killed here still haunt this area. Wow. Oh man.
What's really quite amazing is that the prison, the old prison from 1839, actually shares a wall with that building. Brand new skyscraper just next door. That is an incredible contrast. Let's say no omittance.
Because it is quite a big building, and once you get past that, you can actually see the cell blocks on the sides. Look at that. I'm actually under the one side, but on that side you can actually make them out. It's a pity we can't actually get in. I'll try a slightly better angle in a second.
We can't actually get in, something no one has ever said of this building before.
Yeah, this is a prison.
Welcome to the Port Louis prison. I would not have liked to have been here. Open ceilings with the rain just coming in as and when it can. If it gets too hot, you just have to be too hot. Wow. What an actual building. I would love to go in there and have a look. Not for very long. I wouldn't like to live there. But wow. Port Louis prison. All those prisons, you know?
There are no stairs there. They lead to nothing. Not safe, not safe.
But inside it looks like all those prison movies where you've got the big central corridor.
Right, and the cells
come
are on the
off it.
side. Man.
Ooh, it's a little bit...
Yeah,
I think we might have been here too long now.
I think so
Spirits are
too.
coming.
I'm not sure what this is. It's a bit confusing.
I think it's just a drain. It's not a drain, is it?
No.
It's a vent, probably an air vent from underneath.
Yes, oh, there's probably underneath. Oh, they're building a garage. A parking garage was being built under the site.
Oh, okay, so that's just an air vent.
That's why it's in a bit of danger, because they dug underneath this historical site. Those are really, really, really big steel beams. It is a ridiculously big gutter. And a really tall wall.
These are buttresses. We're just below the prison. But you cannot get a sense of how thick that... Oh, there's a car coming, right? How thick that wall is. And it's like maybe 2 meters thick. And they're more that way. So this is actually holding up the prison above. That land that's actually sitting above is being held by these huge buttresses. But what's really interesting, this building, which is pretty cool, and the fact that cars keep wanting to run us over here, whoa, into the gutter. I just love these old locks.
Awesome. I like all the other paraphernalia that goes along with it, the side sticky thingies and...
Yeah. Oh, there's another one there. So this is a Presbyterian.
This is a Presbyterian church, not this behind Brian, that over there.
This is a Presbyterian church from 1840. 1840? That's really old.
What's quite remarkable is not so much the style of the building, but we will have seen 3 churches from main denominations, Catholic, Anglican and Presbyterian, in this small walking distance, and they're all very historical. Okay, I was mistaken. I mentioned they had big gutters before. This is now a big gutter.
Yeah, this is a Presbyterian church, 1840. That is backing on to the prison. That's the actual prison area. I'm not sure what that house is on top. I wish we had seen it. But with the big buttresses on the side and that wall behind, but it's right next door to obviously the prison there. And whatever that awesome building is that we're about to go discover. I think someone's actually living here. I'm not going to get too close, but I think someone's actually living in this house. They got the windows open, there's some furniture, so I won't show you too much of it. But it's a beautiful old house with the wooden one on top. And what's really, really great, and really, really great that I'm seeing this here, the guy back there is chopping out the trees from the wood, the stonework.
Oh, brilliant.
He's taken out some of the stones, he's chopping it out, and he'll put the stones back when he's finished.
Looking after the building.
repair, and they need to, because that is a really big wall. If that came crashing down because a tree grew in it, it would be a problem.
Yeah, no, big problem.
So they are looking after it really well there. Look at that little house there. We're going to go have a look at that little house there. Wow.
What a quaint little area right in the heart of Port Louis. Oh, these big old trees. And there looks like a really old wall there. That's probably the stream. It's probably the river.
Yeah.
I think. La Pousse stream.
And those are some beautiful shops across the road. What a beautiful house. And it's sitting here. It's got a stone wall in front, but the wooden part is really just beautiful. There's a guy doing steel work behind there. But what a great house. Well, everyone, I've just come into a pastry. I'll show you at the front. But this is the real old one. Can I open it? Does it open? This is the original fireplace for this pastry. Patisserie, sorry. Wow.
More than 100 years.
More than 100 years this has been here. What a beautiful old stove. Do you know how many breads were probably made in that? So just this building here, from this stone here into here, and that was the only pastry. How lucky did we get to be invited? Unfortunately, he hasn't got anything for us to eat, but wow. So he's going to kindly give us a little something. He's actually making a biscuit with a...
It's like a pancake.
Oh, okay.
We put two together with jam.
Two together with jam and then you...
Pineapple jam.
And then...
Long ago we called this cake narcissus.
Narcissus.
Yeah.
Narcissus cake. Wow. How beautiful is that?
1975.
Since 1975.
We work on the stove.
Okay, till 1975.
After 75, we come to the electric one.
Look at the scale. With the really old weight,
Yes.
but wait for it, it gets even better.
Yeah.
Look at this mixer. Oh, wow. For those who know mixers, there's the plate.
Yeah.
Do you still use it?
Yeah.
So
More
it's
than 50 years.
still in use after 50 years. Oh man, that's why everything tastes better when it comes from a place like this. And weighed with the scale.
Still working with this.
They're still working with the scale.
5 pound, 4 pound, 2, 1.
Wow. Walking away from the awesome bakery for the montage. Wow, how awesome was that place? And the sign is just up ahead. I'll show you so you know where to find it. Right here, Patisserie Rassol. And you can find it. It's a little bit hard because it's got that awesome building across the road, but right next to it is a wooden building and then a stone building. But wow, what a great bakery. What a great bakery. And you know it's made with good quality equipment because it's been there forever. Wow.
And a beautiful big mango tree in the yard. What a find. What a find. Who knew? Buttercream and coconut. He said it's like a Neapolitan, but without all the icing on top, which sounds perfect to me. It's very good. It's so crumbly and light.
Oh, it's really nice. The biscuit is really good.
Get a look at that. That crumbles. Oh wow, that is like one of the best biscuits ever. It's like really getting quite late and we've been here for absolutely hours, but everywhere you turn, something else.
About to get run over. Just wait for the car to go past. So, these are more wooden houses. And the one at the end has been repaired. These ones are not in such good nick. The stone one here is well, I suppose it's gonna survive because of being stone. But look at what they've done to the corner store. This is a wooden structure. This is an old wooden structure, but they've actually riveted metal on wherever the wood has been bad, wherever it goes rotten. They put, wow, it really went rotten on the whole of the front, didn't it? And it's all steel here, but it is just steel over wood. Wow. So yes, wherever the wood goes rotten, you can just rivet a piece of metal on, which will help protect it for even longer. I like this side because it's still got wood left. The other side's only metal.
And just for context, this street with these small wooden houses, let me show you where it is.
It's got wood left. The other side's only metal.
Look at who its neighbors are. Skyscrapers. And then on this side you've got small wooden buildings.
Big white building there.
Yeah?
The Sterling House.
Okay, Sterling House.
Where you get passports from.
Okay, where you get, it's like your visas, your immigration place. Cool, so when you guys come and get a visa thing or an extension on your visa, hop down this little side street. And down there for that bakery.
.mu, I wonder what they are. They're nice and festively purple. Well, anyway, we've arrived at the...
It might be a political party actually. Might be. And over here is a secondary school. A big one. I'm not actually sure what this small chapel is, but it's right next to the Anglican church. Huh. Confusing.
Actually, St. James Cathedral. And it has one distinguishing fact that is like awesome. It's built on a powder mill. The 3 meter walls, 3 meter thick walls are somewhere there. We can't get in. I'll try and have a look. But there are apparently other facts.
Wow. And there's actually a bell somewhere in this church that came from a really, really old, there was a clock tower at Villebag, and all that had remained of it was the bell. And Robert Farquhar bought the bell, he bought it, and gave it to this church. Wow, look at those amazing complex bougainvilleas. Those are beautiful. And the frangipanis behind them, you can smell them. Stunning bougainvillea. Just over there, if you ignore that really big building, and you ignore the citadel behind it, there's actually a pagoda.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we've had an Anglican church, a Catholic church, a Presbyterian church, and sort of a pagoda.
Unfortunately, we can't get in there. But somewhere, and I'm thinking at the front there, are 3 meter thick walls.
You have a way with dogs.
So what happened was they used to have a powder mill. But hey puppy.
Alright.
Hey. Are you alright? Good doggy. What a good doggy.
He's defending his church.
Good doggy. What a good doggy. Yes you are. Yes you are. So 3 meters thick, and it was the old powder mill, and Farquhar said, you know, we can't have a powder mill here right in the middle of Port Louis, because if it went off here it would literally blow up the whole of Port Louis.
Yeah.
Send in the Army Corps of Engineers, take down the powder mill, and give the land to the church. So the Army Corps of Engineers came and went, this stays here. 3 meter thick wall somewhere in there. Army Corps of Engineers said they couldn't move it. Just outside of where we're actually allowed to go is that dome. And when I say allowed to go, I mean that we have decided that this is as far as we are going. Yeah.
And it's actually a mosque. Thanks Google Maps.
For all you Liverpool fans. And I would just like to point out, if people are saying Manchester is bigger here, where are your tracks from Manchester United? just across from where they do all the driver school training. Have a look at this house. The really sharp shingled roof, the great big veranda, and all of it right here in downtown Port Louis. Yeah. Wow. Wow. I am seriously wow. That is the wooden top, but look at the veranda. It has a huge deck along it. What a beautiful old house.
Not sure. Very smooth. Those ones ain't scared of nothing.
You know, when you look at a building like this, which has the beautiful doors and the stonework, you quite often forget that we are actually in a mega city. And yes, Port Louis is a mega city. These are offices. I mean, only 150,000 people live here, but millions come in every day to fill these offices.
Remarkable how some streets are really quiet and others not so much. You're wondering why there was a traffic jam in Port Louis? It's because Brian was here.
This behind me is Hennessy Court. I mean, genuinely, I don't even know how big that is, but it is a massive skyscraper here in Uptown Port Louis. It is a big building. But look at what's next door to it. Look at that. Oh, decapitating motorbike, guys. Anyway, that. Beautiful old wooden house. I mean, it's got the fence along it. It has its gate. But that. Wow. Wow. Ah, perfect. Perfect. This is actually quite a good example of a wooden house because it's got the little balcony on top. So you can actually see the balcony at the top. You're to come out those doors onto your veranda, and you've got your deck below as well. This is the beautiful gate for it. And let's just have a look at its front veranda. Oh wow. What a beautiful place. This really is a beautiful building. I'm glad I decided to include it after all.
Okay, this looks very much like a curry tree plant, but it can't possibly be because they don't grow that big, do they? I'm gonna have to try to sniff a leaf. That's a massive tree. Update, I sniffed a leaf and that is a curry leaf tree. It's huge. That is a curry leaf tree. Wow, must be old.
I genuinely think, if Ricky wasn't in the way, this would be the most iconic piece of street art in Mauritius. I don't know why, but it feels like this is on the poster of every Mauritian come to Port Louis poster there is. It's just so compelling, isn't it? Wow, Port Louis.
I'm not sure, maybe he's hiding at the playground, in the ball pit.
Yeah.
Who knows? What do you think?
Wow, Upper Port Louis. History. Let me try that again. Wow, Upper Port Louis with its history, its loud motorbikes, and its modernity. And we just had a little trip around. Okay, it took us 3 hours, but you could probably do it in about half an hour, or just take your time and stop and have something to eat along the way. What a great place. Well, everyone from Upper Port Louis, thanks for watching. See you next time.